Thank you for joining us. This is Live with Miami's Community News, and I'm Michael Miller. We have two great guests today, Gaby Fonseca and Frank Calderon from Miami-Dade Solid Waste Department. Thank you for being here, and it's nice to see you again. So today we're going to be talking about a new campaign called Let's Clean This Up. All right? You're wearing green. You have green over there. You have a brochure, and people can find out a lot about it on the website, which we're going to put up on the screen. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Gaby?
So Let's Clean Things Up is an anti-litter campaign that we have together with Keep Miami-Dade Beautiful and also with Knee Streets of Miami. And the purpose of this program is to keep our neighborhoods and parks clean and open spaces, meaning removing any litter, picking up things that don't belong there. Also, when we're going to do these cleanups, we do have our department go out and remove any illegal dumping as well. So it's also to create public awareness of the litter in the streets and the neighborhood and also the public right of way.
And Frank, when people see these campaigns, they get excited about caring. And we know there are probably more people that are doing littering than illegal dumping. Except for illegal dumping, it's huge.
Yes.
Right? With the littering, it's something it was like when I used to smoke 50, 60 years ago, you just flick it out the window. So I know there was a lot of that, and that goes on. So let's describe the difference between, again, the littering and the illegal dumping and what it means if you dump on the side of the road a lot of stuff. What does it mean to them?
Well, they're both technically legally anyway, they're both about basically the same. The law that addresses both litter and illegal dumping is called the Florida Litter Law. But the difference, of course, is like volume. And typically in people's minds, litter is the guy that drives up to the, gets to the red light and just opens the door and tosses out a fast food bag because he doesn't want it in his car, something he might have eaten on his drive and threw it out. Or the cigarette butt being flicked out, whereas illegal dumping is the people on a pickup truck or even a moving company rental truck that they go to some spot that they think nobody's watching, and they'll push, mattresses out, they'll push tires out, they'll push old appliances out, big boxes, large items typically.
I was listening to a report this morning about people that are into picking up coins off the ground. And they said typically they find a lot of coins outside of bars where they throw it out, and at fast food places. They don't want the coins inside. Not that that's littering, but it might be, but it brings an extra little look about how we process things. Oh, it's only this little thing. Now, Gaby, let me ask you, on the sides of the roads, on any, pick the road. When we're driving at 40 miles an hour or 50 or 60, whatever, you typically don't see it. But if you go really slow or walk, we know it's filled with litter.
Correct. And not also the streets. Right now we're in hurricane season, so litter clogs the drains when it rains. So it's really important to keep those drains clear for the water to come out of the streets, and so we don't have them clogged throughout this rainy season and throughout hurricane season. So picking things up as you see them, if you're walking by. Also, if you're walking around your neighborhood in the afternoon, you can make a commitment to pick up anything that you see, and that would really make a difference as well.
Speaking about making a difference, last year on 27th Avenue and US 1, right before you get 27th Avenue, there's a McDonald's on the right-hand side. Well, on the left side, that would be the north side, a drain was clogged. The water was up to the drive-through window across the street from that, and the other drains, they were all clogged up with little pieces. It wasn't a gigantic dump, but when you have that water flowing like that and it just sits there, it just stops it from doing that. So let's talk again a little bit in the unincorporated parts of Dade County, that what the county is doing to try to help keep those roads clean.
Well, there's several different things. One of them is with the illegal dumping, for example. Those are the big items that can also clog storm drains, but are unsightly and people don't like them. So we have people that enforcement officers will take a look. We'll try to find who's responsible for it, and basically, put the onus on make them take responsibility for it. But in any event, even if we can't, we end up picking it up. There's the litter program, the Let's Clean Things Up program, where we pick up, we work with community organizations to pick litter up off the side of the road. There's other organizations that do that voluntarily as well. And then you have the Public Works Department that is also to some degree responsible for the cleanup of roadways and stuff. I think they have street sweepers still.
And Gabby, how are you going to get more people involved with this program? So one maybe they can get a green shirt at some particular point, or if they can't, we'll give them a can of paint, they can spray it. But get people involved so they're less likely to litter.
So we have a website, is www.miamidade.gov/cleanthingsUp, that they can sign up to volunteer as well. And if you would like to volunteer, the county does provide with items to help you with the cleanup. For example, we provide gloves, pick sticks, and trash bags. And at the end of the cleanup, we do provide with the t-shirts.
Victory.
Students, if they would like to join, we partner with some districts that we have done it, and they provide them with community service hours, which is really great for them because they need them for graduation. So those are the things that we are doing, coming here, speaking with you today, posting it on our social media. So we do invite everyone to follow us on Facebook at Miami-Dade Solid Waste, also on Instagram, Miami-Dade Solid Waste. On Twitter is Miami-Dade SWM, and we are also on Nextdoor, that you can go ahead and follow us with the same name.
She's got it down pat. What's important is that our children and our grandchildren help up front to stop littering, and because your grandchildren will remind you about the right thing to do. When they're in the car and I'm pulling up in the driveway, my house, I'm just so anxious to get out of the car. I'm unbuckled in the driveway, still coasting on. Grandpa, why are you doing that? The car should be stopped before you take it off. And our children, grandchildren remind us of the right things to do.
Well, you know about Patton, right?
No.
Patton, the general, the famous general? He died in a very low speed car accident. Basically hit his head against a clock that was in his car, driving at a very low speed. This was the days before people wore seatbelts. So even at low speeds, not wearing a seatbelt can be...
I'll be strapped in.
Can be problematic.
Frequently, when we look to the side of the road, it doesn't look like it's very much. And the thing that really moved me is when I saw on the 118th Avenue was being cleaned at the end of the day, I saw garbage bags filled. I'm going to guess it was at least 25 feet long, maybe 2 or 3 wide, filled with stuff that was from 118th Avenue and things that didn't look like they were there, but in fact they were there. And so maybe all of us can look at those big piles and say, here all this is, and maybe somebody like yourself would make a wonderful video, just take one of those bags and pour it out and say, this was on the side of the streets. So what about on the main roads like Sunset Drive and Miller and US 1 in the county? How does the county keep those roads clean?
Well, I can't speak for Public Works. I do know that when we were merged with them, that they have street sweepers. A lot of the bigger streets, though, you may have noticed signs that say Adopt a Street, which I think is a state program run by the Florida Department of Transportation. So that's a program similar to ours. The difference is there typically is you have, and again, I probably shouldn't be speaking for them, but they typically have organizations or groups or companies even that may have business right along that road that agree to volunteer, and they have to make a certain commitment. Don't know what exactly how much, but they have to agree to pick up a certain so many times a year, and then they get their name on the signage.
And so, Gabby, sometimes it's the Rotary or Chambers of Commerce, some churches or other religious organizations, and civic clubs. One, but they want to do it. Two, it's really good camaraderie. And 2 or 3, the high school students need community hours.
Correct.
And so if you were talking to like the folks at Palmetto High School, hey, you can put your hours in over here, what should they do if they want to find out more?
Well, they should visit our webpage for the program, that is www.miamidade.gov/cleanthingsUp. If they do, they can sign up there and put their information. They can always also message us on our Instagram DM, or email us at our mailbox as well if they would like to. So that's the platform that we have if anyone wants to reach out to do a cleanup program. And maybe if you're asking yourself, how can I identify if there's litter in my area? And it's very easy to see. Also because litter also depreciates the value of your home or that neighborhood as well. So it's really important to keep it clean. So look out to see if your storm drains are clogged. If you have, like Frank was mentioning, tires, illegal dumping in your area, or every time you go for a walk, you see a lot of trash on the street, it would be an amazing place to take part of this program.
But right now we're running across the bottom of the website. Across the bottom of the show, the website. So we've got it up there in case people need that. So if somebody sees that they're walking around, they're picking up the stuff in their front yard, they see some illegal dump, they can look at it and sort of figure that out. What should they do?
With illegal dumping, if they see the people in the act, don't confront them. I know. Yeah, don't confront them.
Don't confront them.
But call 911. You can actually call 911 and report it because it's a crime in progress. Now, if it's after the fact, the people are gone, you just see a pile of stuff there, you can call 311 to report it.
And if somebody has bulky waste that they want to get rid of, they can either call 311 or go to miamidade.gov/solid waste and tell us how simple it is if somebody wants to go online and ask for a pickup.
It's really easy because you can also pick the date that you want this pickup to be done in your home. So they just have to visit our website, the one that you mentioned, and pick the date. And that day, they have to put things on the curb, not before. The same day of
They get 3 days before, but yeah.
the 3 days before. So yeah.
And it is simple because when I went there a couple of times, I looked at it, I said, even I could do that. And it was great. I got to give the county, where it's due. Easy to access, easy to do. They did it when they say they were going to do it. I was wondering, I was sort of counting the days. And as I'm driving up, they're there. And I was telling Frank last week, I just stood there in my truck behind. I go, isn't this great that these guys are out there? Big truck, guy in the ground, picking up the stuff. And it was really a very clean pickup. And also one of the things, sometimes people are not sure what they can put into that file. So why don't you tell us?
I'm sure you can put, basically yard waste, like, shrubs, tree limbs, stuff like that. They ask that the pieces not be more than 5 feet long. You can put old appliances, old refrigerators. If you do put a refrigerator, freezer, take the door off. We don't want any tragedies. Or make sure it's like sealed, completely locked, where nobody could break into it and get into it. You can put up to 3 cubic yards, I want to say, of construction and demolition debris. That basically, it's an assumption that you're a DIY at your own house. You might have done a small repair somewhere and you have to get rid of this stuff, so we allow you to do it. Not commercial. If you have large amounts, much larger than that, they're going to tell you no, but they allow you to put up to 3. And mattresses are also, and furniture, old furniture can go there as well.
And just for clarity, there's no hiding the stuff underneath the palm front.
No, they'll see it because they're going to pick up and they'll see it. And once they get to it, if they see, you hid like 15 cubic yards instead of 3 of construction demolition.
What might they do if they take the top part off and they look and there's all?
They will pick up the 3 cubic and they'll leave the rest of it, and they'll put a note saying that you have to dispose of it or you're going to get dinged with illegal dumping, basically.
So I learned from our conversation, so I wasn't quite sure how much I had, so I put my pile of stuff next to it. So it's like, okay, it's here. If you don't want it, that's okay. If you do want it, and I think that the drivers and the collectors respect that, not trying to hide it in there. And since we're at talking about trash, tell us about if you can, the recycling and the blue cans. What people should not put in there, or what they can put in.
One of our biggest problems right now is that our residents are placing plastic bags, and that is a big no. So also the things that they're putting that before we didn't allow was, for example, pizza boxes. Now we are taking pizza boxes. We are taking yogurt tubs and detergent bottles as well. Also, please do rinse them. It's really important. And the other things, yes.
The thing where it confuses the mind is on the plastic bags. And I had a conversation with somebody last night, and I just went into the whole pitch. He said, why isn't it recyclable? I said, well, Miami-Dade County doesn't recycle those plastic bags. I grabbed the bag and I twirled it up and made like rope on it. I said, this goes around the machines. But the question they always ask is, why isn't it recyclable? Because it surely looks like it is.
It is. It's just not recyclable in our program because of the way the materials get sorted and all that. Now, there are retail stores that will take plastic bags. Some of them will even take competitors' plastic bags. They don't care as long as it's a plastic bag. But the one caveat that I always give people is checks first. Publix, Walmart are two of the stores I know off the top of my head. There may be others that they'll accept plastic bags at their store, but you have to check first. Don't assume. Your local store may be small and they may not have a capacity. They may not have the capacity for it. Or you may go and show up with a whole bunch of plastic bags. Okay, I'm going to get rid of these and recycle them. And you show up at the store. Oh, no, we don't take them. Check first. The next time you're there, make a mental note. Oh, yeah, they do take them. I can bring them here, and they don't care if it's another store brand.
And consumers can speak out loudly. If I go to a drugstore and I have one thing, keep the bag. Because I know exactly what's going to happen. It's going to go into the cabinet. I'm going to put it there with the other 50 bags. And then at some point, I'm going to throw them out.
Correct.
So part of it is don't
Reduce,
consume it.
reuse, recycle. And this
Say
is
it
the
again.
reduce, reuse, recycle. And this is the reduce part.
And keep the receipt in the hand.
Yes, of course. So we do invite our residents to take their reusable bag whenever they go grocery shopping. We do have a video in our social media page that you can see of us, how we recycle the plastic bags. So Publix does have a container that you can put plastic bags, and they do recycle them. If they have any at home and they want to recycle them, they can do that as well.
And I know Walmart does as well, but check. There may be other retailers that do it as well.
Correct.
Right? So the main theme today is let's
Clean things up.
clean things up. All right, or down. But in this case, we're going to clean it up. So
Correct.
I think it's a great campaign, and keep working it. Keep telling the people. Maybe you can get some of the stuff into the kids' schools, elementary, junior high school, because that's where it all starts. And as I mentioned before. I asked my kids why it's important to keep the roadways, the waterways clean, and they told me all about the manatees. And that's why we need to do it, Grandpa, and lots of other reasons. But they had already learned that, and I think it's important that we're able to teach that. So again, happy Father's Day to you.
Thanks.
Enjoy
Likewise.
yourself. And Frank Calderon, thank you very much. Gabby, thanks very much
My
for being
pleasure.
here. And Michelle, thank you for producing the show. Remember, folks, take care of yourselves and your family.